What's up, family? How y'all doing? I just want to talk about how our culture and our consciousness is being hijacked. All right, it's like, for example, my grandpa, he has 9 brothers. Yet I barely know any of my cousins. My dad's brother, my uncle Daniel, I only met his daughter once in my life. I've never met his son ever. Yet we have the same blood running through our veins. Same blood. My Uncle Rudy's daughter, I don't even think I've ever met her. We're not close at all. Yet we are blood. We are family. And it's just sad because, family builds a tribe, and a tribe builds culture. So most of us have no idea what our culture is. And the root word of culture is cultivate. Cultivate means to grow off the land. So essentially, culture means to grow. So how can we say that we're a part of this indigenous culture, and that is what we are? We indigenous. We are native to this land. We are indigenous peoples. How can we say we're a part of that and say we're doing it for the culture when we have no idea who we are or what we are, where that came from? We don't have the knowledge to teach our kids what our culture is. We don't have that knowledge. Why is that? Because we are being fed false knowledge that is not of our culture. You get what I'm saying? So, consciousness. The word consciousness comes from knowing, all right? And knowing comes from knowledge. So, applying knowledge is wisdom. But you cannot have wisdom or knowledge without knowing. And knowing means consciousness. So I'm saying that to say this. If our consciousness is being hijacked, if we're being fed a false history that is not our history, if we're being fed false media, all this fear-based media that is putting us in a fear state and giving us these fear, stress-related diseases, and being fed, these GMO foods and having all these chemicals in our toothpaste, in our water, and they're literally injecting us with their culture to override our culture and what we come from, and you've been living in their culture for your whole life, then you have no idea who you are. We have no idea who we are. So how can you build a family and build a tribe without knowing where we come from, what our culture is? Right? So we need to get back in touch with what we are. Isn't it written in your Bible, ye are gods? Isn't it written in the if you do the research and you look back at the tablets of Kemet, the tablets of Siberia, you are gods? Isn't it written in our temples, in the Mayan and Aztec temples, you are gods? It's sad that we are so out of tune and out of touch with that. We have no idea where our culture comes from. I can't go to one of my elders and ask, Grandma, Grandpa, elder, where do we come from? Where do our people come from? They don't even know. They don't even know. It's sad because it was made that way. That's how the colonizers made it. They would come over here and they saw how strong our family unit was. They had to break that. They would kill the father. They would, put us through genocide, put us in these reservations, separate us. And it worked. I barely know half of my family now. It's still going on today. I barely know any of my family. And it's not the elders' fault. It's not their fault. It's the colonizers coming in here and separating us, and it's still living through them today. So it behooves us to come together as a family unit and to know each other and to love each other and to heal each other. Look at all of our elders dying 50 or 60 years old. That's not old. That's young. We should be dying when we're 90, 100 years old. Due to all these this cancer, all this heart failure. Where does that come from? That comes from the food they are feeding us. Everything they're feeding us is to hijack and overthrow our consciousness. Just look at all the things we think matter. People are addicted to television. People are addicted to gaming, to football, to basketball, when our culture is falling apart. None of that matters when our culture is falling apart. So it behooves us to come together and to build back our culture, to remake our culture for the children and the generations to come. This is more than you. This is us. This is a family unit. We need to come together. I love all of y'all. It's long overdue. It's time we bring back our culture. We cultivate. We grow. It's long overdue. All right. I love y'all. Peace, love, and light.